Good afternoon. Welcome to the Teachers Retirement System Board meeting for May 21st, 2020. I will start by calling the roll. John Adler.
Here.
Thomas Brown.
Present.
Natalie Green Giles. Here. David Kazansky.
Present.
Russell Buckley. Deborah Penny.
Here.
Susanna Vickers.
Here.
Okay. We do have a quorum, so I'm going to start with Kavita Kanwar is going to give us an update on TRS operations. Kavita?
Good afternoon, everybody. April marked the unofficial beginning of retirement filing season. Through May 17th, 562 members had filed for retirement, with 429 of those choosing a July 1st retirement date. The number of filings is slightly higher than it was last year at the same time. Most of this year's filings have been done on our website using electronic forms. The e-forms were developed and implemented in the first weeks after we had to close our Member Services Center. Production and distribution of member account statements for the first quarter of 2020 was completed. Statements were made available for online viewing May 6th for over 127,000 members who are currently in service or on leave. Also, in May, TDA quarterly statements were made available for viewing for approximately 58,000 retirees with deferred TDA accounts. And finally, the TDA quarterly statement for TDA beneficiary participants were mailed to a population of approximately 1,100 on May 13th. During April and May, TRS implemented major provisions of the CARES Act, a federal coronavirus relief law enacted March 27th. Qualified members can now apply for a TDA withdrawal under Special CARES Act rules and request a 12-month deferral on loan payments. TRS also implemented increased loan limits as provided in the Act. Finally, the CARES Act suspended TDA required minimum distributions for 2020, and TRS has notified affected members about this change as well. Thank you, Patricia.
Thank you, Kavita.
Just go, hold on. Did you just say the first thing you said, the numbers you said, because you kind of faded out?
The retirement numbers?
Yeah.
So I said 562 members had filed for retirement, with 429 of them choosing a July 1st retirement date.
Okay, thanks.
Kavita, can you send that to us electronically, please?
Sure,
Yes.
absolutely, Sean. Yep.
Thanks, Kavita.
Okay, next on the agenda is a report from the actuary. Sherry?
Thank you, Patricia. So the fiscal note report, there was one fiscal note that was issued from my office that pertained to TRS between the last time that we met and this time. This fiscal note had to do with the cost of living adjustment, where we decreased the eligibility age and requirement from 62 years of age with 5 years, 5 years to 65 years old with 5 years of retirement. This would increase the contribution by $28 million a year for the first year. And the other two items on my report are contained in the executive director's report. So unless there's any questions, I can pass it back to you, Patricia.
Okay, thank you, Sherry. So next we'll go to the executive director's report. And the first item there is the matter of the next meeting. And it's been suggested that the next regular meeting of the Teachers Retirement Board be held on the third Thursday of the month, June 18th, 2020. Next is the next is the resolution for an annual meeting of the Teachers Retirement Board in accordance with Section 13-509 of the Administrative Code of the City of New York, as well as Article 2 of the bylaws of the Teachers Retirement Board, shall elect a chairperson for its membership at the annual meeting to be held in May of each year. We therefore open the floor for nominations. Do we have any?
I nominate Deborah Penny for chairperson of this board.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Okay.
Second.
So next, do we have a motion to approve Deborah Penny as the chairperson for the Teachers Retirement Board?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
Okay, all those in favor say aye.
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 Okay.
Who moved? Who was second?
David Kazansky
Who moved
moved.
it?
Tom Brown second.
Okay. I can't see anybody. Okay.
Okay, and so it passed unanimously. Congratulations, Deborah.
Thank you so much. I'm honored.
We can't clap like on Zoom.
Yay! Now we can see each other.
Thank
There's
you.
no hand clap thing. There's no applause feature here.
You have to do it in real time.
Yay!
Okay, the next resolution is for the administrative budget for fiscal year 2021. Whereas the proposed fiscal
Please
year.
skip to the resolve.
Okay, I'll skip to the resolved. Resolved that the TRS agency budget for fiscal year 2021, excluding modernization and Galeno, shall include an amount of $22,569,735 attributable to the variable annuity and loan expense funds, and $42,566,584 attributable to the employer for the total agency budget, excluding modernization and Galeno, of $65,139,319. And be it further resolved that the TRS agency budget for fiscal year 2021 shall include for the modernization program the amount of $17,732,462 to be provided by the variable expense fund, and $6,892,538 to be provided as an administrative expense contribution for the total modernization budget of $24,625,000. And the next resolution will be laid over until the June 4th teachers retirement investment meeting. So therefore, be it resolved that the trustees hereby authorize the executive director or her designees to expend monies out of such budget to fund necessary operations in accordance with the approved budget and governing law. The following resolution is presented for consideration and possible adoption.
Okay,
Deborah.
thank you. Do I have a motion to approve the administrative budget fiscal year 2021 with the exception of the third resolution, because we are laying over the Galeno budget until the investment meeting in June? Do I have a motion?
So moved, Tom Brown.
Oh, thank you, Mr. Brown. Do I have a second?
Dave Kazansky second.
Thank you, Mr. Kazansky. Is there a discussion about it? Okay, all those in favor, please say aye.
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 Thank you. Any opposed? Okay, motion carries. Thank you.
Okay, the next resolution is the actuary's recommendation regarding the Tier 3, 4, and 6 loan insurance premium for fiscal year 2021.
Please skip to the resolve.
Resolved that the Board of Trustees hereby adopts the recommendation of the actuary as stated in her report dated May 14th, 2020, and stipulates that Tier 3, 4, and 6 loan insurance premium rate be continued at its current rate of 0.1 per annum of the outstanding loan balances for any loan originating fiscal year 2021. For example, July 1st, 2020 through June 30th, 2021.
Thank you. Do I have a motion to approve the
Tom
actuary's
Brown.
recommendation? Thank you, Mr.
Tom
Brown.
Brown.
Do I have a
So
second?
moved.
We wanted to have discussion, Deborah.
Yep, we'll do the, let me get a second, then we'll do the discussion. Do I have a second?
Second,
Second,
Susanna
Anthony.
Thank
Vickers.
you.
Give it to Susanna.
Is there a discussion? Any questions for the actuary or any discussion about the loan insurance premium rate?
I think Sherry wanted to speak on it.
Okay, I was just going to fill the board in on what this the background about this resolution. So you might recall that when a member borrows money from their own account, that if they were to pass before the loan is repaid, then their beneficiary would get a reduction in the death benefit in the amount of the outstanding loan that hasn't been paid back yet, if it weren't for this insurance. So what this insurance does is that as they pay back each payment, each loan payment each month, there's a 0.1% right now that's added on top of the interest rate that's used to calculate the loan payment. So it's an insurance premium. This insurance premium pays for the chance that if they were to die before their loan is repaid, their beneficiary would not get a reduction in their death benefit. So this rate was lowered to 0.1% last year, and this year it's recommended to be kept at 0.1%.
Thank you.
Okay, any questions for Sherry about that? Okay, then having moved and seconded, all those in favor? All those in favor say aye.
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 There we go. Any opposed?
Aye.
Okay, so the motion carries. Thank you.
Next is the request for the Board of Trustees to adopt the authorization of rebalancing of funds for the New York City Teachers Retirement System.
Please skip to the resolve.
Resolved that the board adopts the actuary's recommendation and authorizes TRS staff to effectuate the internal rebalancing in the amount of $33,012,052 from the passport funds to the QPP in accordance with such recommendation.
Thank you. Is there a motion to approve the rebalancing of funds? Is there a motion?
So moved.
Tom Brown, second.
Okay, thank you. Any discussion on the rebalancing?
I believe Sherry wanted to talk to this.
Sherry?
Thank you. So this is, again, an annual process that we do to make sure that the assets and liabilities balance in the TDAs as well as the variable funds of the QPP. Patricia had said that this is a $33 million transfer. Specifically, it's comprised of $9.7 million from the QPP fixed to the QPP variable, and offset by a $42.8 million transfer from the TDA funds to the QPP fixed. So netting that together is a $33 million transfer.
Jerry, I know we did a big giant transfer of billions of dollars a few years ago. How does it happen that that the two arms get out of balance? Like, can you just give a very basic explanation of that?
Yeah. So I don't think I have share screen capabilities, but basically each of these funds are broken out to be a fund for the active side and a fund for the retiree side, and both of them get out of balance for different reasons. So on the active side, when members transfer money from one variable fund to another, their assets will show the you want me to pull it up? I think I just got the capability to pull it up, or I can just talk verbally about it. If anybody wants to pull it up, let me know. But so for the on the active side, when members try to move money from one variable fund to another, the asset value that gets transferred is the daily value, but the liability that gets transferred is the quarter end close, the prior quarter end close. So there might be a difference in the.
I'm sorry, can you, sorry, you kind of cut out that last sentence.
Okay. The liability that gets transferred is as of the quarter end of the prior quarter. So because the asset values are the day of and the liability values are as of quarter end, there is a difference between those two values. On the retiree side, what happens is there's two contributing factors. One is when someone retires, their asset is basically the asset balance that's in their account. I think that makes sense. The liability is calculated based on statutorily prescribed assumptions, and they're annuitized based on those assumptions. And when we do our valuation to value the liabilities, our valuation assumptions reflect the demographics of the members, and so they're not statutorily prescribed in that sense. And so there's different assumptions that we're using to annuitize it versus calculating the liability. So that's one reason why the liabilities is different on the retiree side. And a separate reason of why the liabilities for the retirees are different from the asset value is because of life expectancy, that if they outlive what the expected value is, then obviously they're drawing down on the assets more than they had set aside for, individually saved for.
Okay, thank you for that.
You're welcome.
Okay, any other questions for Sherry? Okay, seeing none. All those in favor of the rebalancing of funds, please say aye.
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 Great, any opposed? Okay, motion carries.
The next item on the agenda is the calendar, and the first item on the calendar is the matter of the approval of all the minutes for the minutes for March 2nd investment meeting and the April 20th board meeting minutes.
Is it the April 2nd? And the
Both April.
The April 2nd and the April 20th, correct?
Yes.
Okay. Oh, you said March. Okay.
Did I say March?
Didn't you? Yep, I think so.
All right.
Okay.
So for the month of April 2nd,
And
for the investment meeting
22nd
minutes.
Sim as well.
I'm sorry, and the April 20th board meeting minutes.
Okay, great. Yeah, no, the sim was taken off because we didn't receive the minutes yet. So it's just the April 2nd and the April 20th?
The calendar.
You're breaking up, John, I'm sorry. John, were you trying to say something? I guess. Okay, so is there a motion to approve the minutes for the April 2nd and April 20th?
Tom Brown, so moved.
Thank you, Mr. Brown. Is there a second?
Dave Kazansky, second.
Thank you, Mr. Kazansky. Is there any discussion about the minutes? All right, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you. Any opposed? Okay, they have been approved. Other business? Patricia, did you want to take on the other business?
We have the remainder of the calendar, no?
Oh, yeah.
She's muted. She's muted.
Oh, I'm sorry, I muted myself. I'm sorry. So the next item is from the calendar, and it's the items on the calendar.
Please wait for the reading of the calendar.
Thank you. So I guess we need to just to vote to accept the items on the calendar.
Yep. Okay. Is there a motion to approve the calendar?
So
Tom Brown, second.
Wait, who so moved?
I did, Susanna.
Oh, I'm sorry. Hey, okay. Thank you, Susanna and Tom Brown. There was a second. Any discussion on the calendar? All those in favor to approve the calendar?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, motion carries.
The next
Calendar-
item, I'm sorry. So the next item on the agenda is other business. And under other business, we have the reelection of Thomas Brown as a trustee for the teachers. So congratulations, Tom.
Oh, thank you.
Congratulations, Tom Brown.
Congratulations. That was a tough race. Thank you.
And that was effective May 13th? I think.
I don't know the date. David, you know the
Yes.
effective date?
May 13th.
May 13th.
All right. So,
Oh.
all right.
Thank you, guys.
And that's for a 3-year term, so congratulations.
And
Thank you.
how long is your term for?
What was that?
How long?
3 years.
3 years.
How long is the term? Okay,
3 years.
congratulations.
Thank you.
Okay. Under
Okay.
other business, I'm sorry, Patricia, under other business, could I just say something for a minute? So I just want to thank TRS again. TRS has moved so quickly to get all of the forms up online so that our members could retire by the push of a button. We thank you for your hard work. We also thank you. So far, we've lost 120 members from COVID-19, and I reported in, and TRS is working so diligently and expeditiously to get the death benefit out to their family and to provide them with everything that they need. So on behalf of the UFT and all of our members, we thank you for the hard work that you have done.
Thank you, Deborah. We appreciate it. That's a terrible number of people that have been lost.
Yes.
Okay. But thank you. Next on the agenda are questions and comments from the public.
Right. Seeing none. Okay. Do I have a motion to adjourn?
Tom Brown, so moved.
Thank you, Mr. Brown. Do I have a second?
Susanna Vickers, second.
Thank you, Ms. Vickers. Any discussion about it? Okay, wonderful. Everyone have a wonderful day. All those in favor, please say aye.
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 Any opposed? Okay, we stand adjourned.
Thank you,
Have a
everybody.
wonderful Memorial Day weekend,
Bye.
everybody.
Stay healthy.
Enjoy
Yeah,
Memorial Day
safe.
weekend. Be safe.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Aye.
Have fun, guys.
Aye.